Hey y'all, I'm Andrew Fluger, and we're out here with Seth Walker doing a show tonight at the Bluff in Memphis, Tennessee. And we'll be doing a little bit of a gear rundown. We got a big show tonight, New Year's Eve. So we're going to be just showing you some of the gear that I'm using on this show tonight, looking at some drums and cymbals and some other fun stuff like that. So why don't we go in there and take a look at what we're using. Alright, so we'll start with cymbals first, and then we'll go into the drums. And we'll kind of go through what we're using tonight. I primarily use all Meinl. Love Meinl. I've always had a good relationship with Meinl, and the cymbals that they make are fantastic. Shout out to Memphis Drum Shop for hooking me up with the cymbals that I'm using tonight. They are. I got to hand pick them, and they're fantastic. So why don't we start right over here? Far right crash is a 22 dual crash ride. Big, explosive, and a lot of wash and super powerful. Definitely one of my favorite cymbals. For a main ride, this is my baby. Absolutely near and dear to my heart. We're using a 24-inch Byzance Big Apple Dark Ride. Just a cannon. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful cymbal. Over here, two 20-inch crashes. I love this combination of crashes, the extra dry, with kind of the hammered. It just is I love these two cymbals together, especially when they're crashed together. We've got a 22-inch Byzance, extra thin crash, extra thin hammered. Should note that. And then over here, put one of these doodads on there. Ching rings kind of gives it a nice effect. 20-inch extra dry, thin crash. Again in the Byzance series. And then for hats, man, the big hi-hats, it's all the rage these days. So I kind of wanted to just see what I could do, kind of get away from the 14-inch hi-hats a little bit and just kind of try out some other stuff. So here we've got some 16-inch extra dry, medium thin hi-hats in the Byzance series again. All of these cymbals, the combination of everything, I love them. They're deep and dark and kind of trashy, and yeah, I love them, man. They just have a lot of attitude, and I love playing them. And then I guess I shouldn't forget this guy over here. This is just I needed a China for tonight. There's a song that we're doing where we're going to do a little China breakdown. It's just a little 16-inch Wuhan, but got a lot of punch to it, a lot of attitude. So we brought this guy out today. Yeah, let's move to drums too while we're at it. So this drum set, super near and dear to my heart. This is one of my favorite kits. It's a Gretsch Renown Maple with the Silver Oyster Pearl wrap on it. We got 22 by 18, 16 by 14, 18 by 16, the big boss over here, and then a 12 by 8. Just a beautiful wrap on here. Gretsch now with DW did an incredible job. I love these drums, and one of the best things about them is when I got them, I don't know if you can still do it anymore, but these all came with die-cast hoops on the toms, and that was awesome. And I wanted a virgin kick, and I don't even know if you're able to get that anymore with the Renown Maples, but I was able to get that. Got these back in 2016, so was able to kind of get that hook up. Everyone's favorite part, snare drums. So here we've got this is my go-to. We've got a 6.5 by 14 hammer tube lug Ludwig Copperphonic. This baby's a cannon. I absolutely love this snare drum. It's my go-to, and I use it for everything. I use it for a ton of sessions. It sounds great live. Tune it fat, tune it high, mid-range. You know, I mean, this thing, it's a workhorse, and I mean, it can really do it can do anything, and it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful snare drum. And then side snare drum over here. Put this guy back. Side snare drum over here. We've got this thing I got it kind of dead because I'm using it to sub some claps for some of Seth's music. We got a 14 by 8 DW Performance Series, kind of a turquoise. It's like I don't remember what they call, like a Midnight Galaxy Sparkle or something like that. It's one of the most beautiful sparkle wraps I've ever used. It was hard for me to find this snare drum. I could only find one dealer that actually had this wrap. I mean, you can custom order it from DW, but I only found one dealer outside from ordering straight from DW who had it. And you know, being that it's 14x8, you would think that's going to be really deep and whatnot. But this thing sounds like a marching snare drum, and it's super got a lot of attack, and yeah, it's fantastic if you want to like sub in like you know, like a clap or something like that. Tune it up really high. I've got a Remo Power Stroke 77 on it, so it's a little bit thicker, kind of taking away some of that ring and whatnot. All the drums, minus the snare drums, all the toms, we've got the Power Stroke 4 clears. They just make the toms absolutely sing. We've got a Power Stroke P3, Remo Power Stroke P3 on the batter side over here, and then got a custom Gretsch logo head out there, the fiber skin. Snare drum, P77 on that one, talked about that. And then we've got a controlled sound clear with the dot on the Ludwig the Ludwig Copperphonic. And then I don't want to forget this, because this is like one of my most favorite things of this setup that we're using for this show tonight. It took me a long time to finally get one of these, but I love the Yamaha Subkick. This thing, you know, live and studio sessions and stuff like that, this thing's amazing. I was, you know, Yamaha doesn't make them anymore, but I wish they did, because it would have been so much easier for me to get a hold of one, but I finally got a hold of one, and I love using it. Thanks so much for joining me, for checking out my gear rundown video. Check out my social media handles down below, and thanks a lot, you guys.
It's a drinking song right here. Hope y'all ready.